Savery began to invest in a mushroom growing business. Influenced by the fact that 80% of mushrooms were grown in his hometown in Chester County, Pennsylvania, in a corporation owned by his cousin Edward Jacobs. Savery was mentored in the mushroom business by his cousin in the early 1920s. In 1922, he tried to build a corporation underneath a viaduct on Denver's 20th Street. However, the head sheriff shut it down due to some complaints of foul odor of horse manure used in the process of production. Although the first business wasn't successful, Savery was determined in the 1930s in Adams County, Westminster, Colorado, that it would be a perfect place for his new mushroom farm. However, experts told him that the enterprise would fail. Why? Because it is simply too dry and arid for mushrooms. But this didn't stop him from having a successful mushroom business that would last for a good 10 years. After building this successful mushroom farm with a lively community of farmers, cedar and concrete buildings that looks like houses in the midst of prairie fields, and a recipe for savory Persian delight, in the 1950s, everything suddenly became silent. A few years before his death, Savery encountered two fires totaling $75,000 in damage. Unfortunately, he was unable to rebuild after his retirement, and the farm closed in 1953. He eventually died in 1960, and almost all the buildings were torn down and destroyed. Now, all there is left is the water tower saying. The water tower might be the only physical remnant, but the mental image of a plow will always remain. In chapter 14 of book 2 in My Antonia, Cather suggests that a remnant of a plow is left on the farmland. In a moment we realized what it was. On some upland farm, a plow had been left standing in the field. When you've encountered that much damage, you can't possibly make it better and lively again, can you? Sometimes something is so badly broken, you cannot recreate its original shape at all. If you try, you create a deformed, imperfect image of what you've lost. You will always compare what your creation looks like with what it used to look like. As long as you are attempting to recreate, you are doomed to fail. I am beginning to realize that when something is that broken, more useful and beautiful results can come from using the pieces to construct a mosaic. You use the same pieces, but you create a new design from it. Ever since the mushroom farm closed its doors officially, nature has decided that it would take over the remnants of what has been abandoned. Flash forward a few decades, and the mushroom farm has now become a pond in open space. In part 3, chapter 5 of O Pioneers, Cather illuminates the beauty of the pond. When the pond glittered before her, where Emil had shot the ducks, she stopped and looked at it. Yes, there would be a dirty way out of life, if one chose to take it. But she did not want to die. She wanted to live and dream 100 years, forever.